See, so make sure. Yep, there we go. All right, so
Woo woo.
we're ready to roll, bitches. There's a
What is that?
that's a squirrel.
Awesome. You just like messing with me.
Welcome, one and all. Welcome to all of us. We're on. Hello. This is Sanitize Sammy and Kim on a Wednesday. Yes, we are that freaking nuts that we decided that we'll torture ourselves.
We thought
not
we'd
one
squeeze
day
in one more day.
but two. So we'll see how it works out. And
We're
we'll
trying to
there.
get a few more subscribers out of this.
Yeah.
If you read the preliminary thing,
hold on. Let's not blow the nut all in one shot. All right? You like to condense my whole show in one sentence, and then I'm like, what the hell am I going to talk about now? Details.
Okay, sure.
Details.
Little
details. So anyway, I am Sammy. And they call me the Russian doll because I'm not a fat guy. I'm a guy inside of a guy inside of a guy inside of a guy.
Exactly.
Then I got the chemist, Miss Kimmy, next to me.
Yes.
Say hi.
Howdy.
Okay, so the live chat is running on YouTube, and we also have the Facebook rolling.
Yes.
So just wherever you're at, we'll try to hit you up if you put out a comment, and we'll go from there. So we got two screens now. We moved up. We moved up from one screen to two screens. I found
woo.
Yeah, woohoo! It's like that's kind of scary,
right?
Kind of scary, but anyway,
that's awesome.
So yeah, we just wanted to since we only have 18 subscribers. Let's introduce ourselves. I'm Sammy, and this is Kimmy.
Yes.
And we're Samatized. We have our show on Saturday nights.
Yes, at 8.
Late night, and I'm normally a lot dirtier then because I figure nobody's listening anyway. So what's it matter? And Kimmy just tries to reel me in wherever it is. That's her main entire job.
Yeah.
Is just to make sure that I don't do something stupid.
And try to convince him to correct his spelling every once in a while.
Yeah. I still have to do that.
Aha.
Our disclaimer now says please like and subscribe.
He left out a critical letter there.
That just explains why we don't have any subscribers, because they don't know what to do.
They can't find the subscribe button. That's what it is.
They're not finding the subscribe button. They're finding the subscribe button, and it's just not there.
Exactly.
So down at the bottom of the screen, over here somewhere.
It's there somewhere.
Right there.
Yeah.
It shows you the name of the shit. Show. So
the name of the shit. Yes.
The name of the shit. Show you the name of the shit right there. That's the good shit right there, buddy.
Right. Exactly.
Like a crackhead. That's the good shit, man. You gotta get some of that.
Here we go. Right.
So anyway, we're still learning, but this is number 9 in total, but the first one on a Wednesday.
Yes.
So this will be quite interesting and all.
Yeah.
So, and to move on up to the real world, we have intro music coming from a good friend of ours, a very famous DJ. Talked to him on Sunday. He's supposed to get us our stuff here very shortly.
He's a busy guy. We're not putting no pressure on him.
No pressure at all. So, Cisco, if you are out there live and kicking, no pressure. Just waiting. No, just so anyway.
And tell them why we were building up subscribers.
Subscribers?
Yeah,
so why we're building up subscribers? Well, we're building them up because we need them.
Yes, we need them, but what is their incentive to subscribing?
We have incentives, yes. We have the Sammy incentive program.
Yeah.
Yes, it's kind of like what my dad used to call when he used to sell cars. He used to say that every car had a lifetime warranty, and when the car died, he guaranteed that was the life of it.
There you go.
So, back to the game plan now. we are looking to try to get up. We're at almost 20 subscribers right now.
Yes.
And we're trying to find everybody
trying to just
and anybody.
more than double that.
Yeah, get anybody and everybody that we can to subscribe.
Subscribe.
And hopefully the 18 will get get at least one friend that will get maybe a couple other friends.
Yes.
So that's the way I'm looking at it. We want 50.
Right.
When we get to 50, we're having a very special episode.
Yes.
When we hit 50 subscribers,
yes,
we are going to have a hot sauce palooza show. Well, just hear me out. So, I'm all in on it. Kimmy's not so much. But
I'm riding the fence here. I'm not a huge fan of super hot shit.
She will participate in most, but not all things. So
yes.
we've got hot sauces and all these things, but the main thing is we got this game. Left it up here just so we could show people. It is called the Fiery 5 Challenge. Woo 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 woo! And basically on top, it has all the different types of jelly beans that are in the Fiery 5 Challenge.
Yes.
And we're going to have we're just going to have a show. And every so many minutes as we're in the show, we are going to spin the cool little spinner.
Yes.
And we're going to eat whatever one that we pick.
Well, I'd like to correct you there. We're not going to...
If
I can't get it down, it's either going down by force or it's coming out.
You don't have to chew.
Okay.
Because I'm going to give you that much. I mean, they're just candy, so
yes,
they
you're
can't
right.
be that fucking hot.
There's a warning.
There's a warning.
There's several warnings.
There's a warning right here. It says extremely hot. Keep out of the reach of 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
So I look at it as this.
I
With
think
my
mentally,
age,
I'm
if
just
I
a little bit
multiply
above
that by 3, I still, or divide myself by 3, I still meet the age of 13. So I'm okay with that.
And there you have it, folks. Sammy's logic.
Yeah, Sammy logic in a nutshell. Yeah, these signs that right here don't mean anything. Just don't even pay attention to the warning labels.
That's what he tells me.
So, anyway.
He used to just say, hey, try this.
It's like, hey, try this out. She goes, what the hell did you just give me? It's kind of like when you're with your buddies and like you would get something really stinky or bad or whatever, and they're like, hey man,
smell this.
Oh, this smells horrible. Here, why don't you smell? And he's like,
take a whiff.
Why'd you make me do that? Why'd you make me smell that, man? And it's like, well,
because it's so awful, we have to share.
Yeah, it's so horrible. As my friend, you gotta participate.
Yes, exactly.
So that's just the basically gist of it. It's also, did you know? Speaking of smells. Did you know that it is an inherent habit of every human being in the world that if they go somewhere where it smells bad, as they walk in, whether it's a bathroom or whatever, they will smell. Their body will automatically force out a...
Right.
Like, think about... Now, anybody that's out there that's watching this, think about this the next time you go in the bathroom. And don't tell, and without thinking too hard, your body will go and sniff the air before you even walk in.
Yep.
You're going into a bathroom. It's like your body, it was like God's way of making a bad joke.
Well, I don't know if it's a bad joke. Well, it's kind of funny if you think about it.
Because it's like he's got to get his humor out of us somewhere. It's like, hey, we'll kick in. We'll have a little sniffer kicker coming in anytime you go into something nasty and snasty. Here, we're going to do this.
How many bathrooms have you gone into where the smell turns you around and you left? I know it's happened because it's happened to me where I'm like, nope, don't have to go that bad. I'll hold it.
Maybe once or twice.
Exactly.
Not a lot, though.
So the nose warning thing, that's...
I hold my breath.
Yeah, I get it.
It is, but I'm a man, so you go in most of the time, you're just taking a leak. You can stand up. So you go in there and you just like... And then you use that extra pressure to piss out everything faster. That's how it works. You know, I mean.
Yeah, well.
It's just like the urinal game. You know, well, you're a woman, so you probably don't know about the urinal game. But when a man, like, if there'll be 5 stalls, right?
Sure.
So depending on the man and depending on how confident they are, they will go in and they will use like maybe the first guy, if he's not so confident, he'll go to the far left or the far right. Okay. So then the next guy, so say he goes in the far right.
Yeah.
Next guy walks in. He's going to see this guy. He does, he's not like, this isn't parallel parking at Walmart or at Disney World, where they're directing you to the next stall.
The very next spot, yeah.
No, you go to the opposite.
You're going to
end.
go to the
Distance. Even though you
distance
can go
and
in
privacy,
the middle.
even though exactly.
Now the brave guy, and you can always tell the guy that doesn't have a small penis because he's the guy that doesn't give a shit where he goes. But all the other guys are either going to go left, right, middle.
Okay.
Left, right, middle. Now, if there's a guy in the left, now here's where the problem comes. Say you're in an airport, you go left, right, middle. Mm-hmm. Now you have to take one of those other.
Now
two.
You have to stand next to somebody whether you want to or not.
Yeah. So now you justify yourself by looking at the dude. Now, if he's a tall, fit guy, well, then you don't
want to be compared to him.
Yeah.
Right?
If the tall, fit guy's on the very end, and the fat guy's in the middle.
Yeah.
And the other fat guy's on this side, then you're
going to go in between the two
guys.
fat guys, sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. I get it.
Go with your brand.
Yeah, yeah.
Not everybody has a schlong the size of a baseball bat.
I would certainly hope not.
And the bad part
That'd
is
be painful.
And the bad part is sitting there and because for some unknown reason these guys, people just go and they look. It's like you're taking a leak, and you always get that weird fucker that's like
got to look over the barrier.
He's looking over. The worst is that
it would be funny.
What's that?
If you kept something in your pocket and just like...
Oh, no, it's worse than that. It gets worse than that because when you have a friend...
It reminds me of the Angry Birds movie. That walks in that hasn't
seen you in ever. Those are the worst ones of the bunch, okay?
Oh, jeez.
Because the friend will come up, and he will come up and, like, start patting you on the back.
Oh, great.
Or like, you're taking...
So then that shit really does happen from the Angry Birds where the birds going woo like the sprinkler?
Well, when we were kids, that was like the ongoing thing. Like when me and Todd and Mike and everybody used to hang out during and Scotty used to all hang out together. We would go out and like we'd wait for one of them to take a leak, and then you just grab them by their shoulders and they're just pissing all over everything and themselves, and it's just a funny thing at that point.
Of course, sure, yeah.
It's
fun when you're kids, right?
Yeah, it's still good if you're that. Yeah, depending on if it's a guy's night out and how drunk you've gotten.
We're back on the subject of bathrooms, and I just have to interject one thing.
Yes, sir.
The bathrooms at Ford's restaurant. I mean, unless you come from a plumbing background, have a lot of common sense, or, okay, so that side of the room, basically, I can't tell you how many women I witnessed don't know how to turn a freaking lever to turn the water on. They literally walk up and they're like this, and they're like, hey, the water's not coming on.
We went to the Ritzy Ditzy one, which is the one by the mall, because... If you don't remember correctly, some of those, like, if you go to Bubba's barbecue, they don't have the lever either. See, the guys one at the Bubba's, I don't know about the female side, but the male side had a foot pedal. And if you didn't know about the foot pedal in the Fords and
Brandon maybe?
It's either Brandon or St. Pete.
We
went to one of those, and they had the foot lever too. And
that was St. Pete.
And if you don't know about the foot pedal, you're kind of fucked. Because then it's like, I just remember
Well, Sarasota doesn't have a foot pedal, and let me tell you.
It's a lever. I mean, on,
exactly.
off.
It's not too, literally right,
you're
left. Expecting
people
forward,
to be
back.
mechanically inclined. And that's where the problem is.
Well, you open a freaking car door, you twist a doorknob.
Yeah, but some people go in there, have more money than all of us that I know together combined. So, one of these days.
Yeah.
So we got what's nuts is that so basically the rich people are going in, they don't have, it's like they pay somebody to be mechanically inclined for them is what you're trying to say. Is what I'm trying to say. That's what it is. It's because if you think about it, and I'm not trying.
Right.
And if anybody out there that listens to our show is
And couldn't
thinking,
figure out the sink in Fords.
could. Well, no. If you have more money than I do, which is not
There's
by much,
quite a few people out there that probably do. I would imagine.
Exactly. which has a it's like
That's fine.
Work hard, no money,
Right.
still same shit.
Hey, whatever.
But you have a place to live, you're good.
Exactly.
But the key is you just have to be happy.
Yep.
And so some rich people, they don't know how to do any of this shit.
Right.
I mean, some poor people do either. But
This is
basically, if you're a poor guy and you don't and you try to figure out shit.
Yeah, you almost have that
That's the way it
MacGyver
goes.
intellect. Like
Yeah.
you know, hey, I got a stick of gum, a rubber band, and a paper clip. Okay, we can
Yeah.
make a booby trap or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Where
so
yeah.
it's like so if you go in there and you see the sink, you see this thing, it's like, oh, this is neat. There's a hose here and there's
Yeah.
something
Right.
there.
Exactly.
And you see a faucet thing, you're going to start pulling handles and shit until you find something.
I mean, one would
you
hope.
might not, but see, that's where less fortunate money people have and more fortunate people are.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, because less fortunate people, we're going to try everything, whether we fail or
Right,
not,
yeah.
until we win.
Right.
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, we'll try it
like
all.
a game, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
True.
It's like a fat guy going to a buffet. I don't know how I would know this, but I did. you go to the buffet, and you might not like everything on the plate, but you'll go back 10 or 12 times to make sure you got everything that was good.
Right.
Good, you
yeah.
know?
And got your money's worth.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for
And that's
sure.
basically the gist of it.
Yeah. Well, all I know is if I'm in a bathroom and I can't wash my hands, number one, I probably have hand sanitizer or a sanitizing wipe with me. But number two, I'm figuring out that damn sink. I don't care.
It's like
If I got to assemble a Rubik's Cube to turn the damn water on, I'll do it.
oh yeah. and you know, and it's like I mean, here's a
Which, speaking of which, that would be a fun one.
what's that?
Set up the water faucet so that the Rubik's, got to match the colors. You could do an easy one with like 4.
Yeah.
You'd have everybody
Okay,
walking
I'm
out
gonna
with
tell you.
dysentery because they'd all have dirty hands.
I'm going to tell you right now. There's rich, poor, smart, not smart. Guys are very simple, and
I didn't
you
say
got-
all my ideas are good.
Yeah, and the Rubik's Cube thing, we'd all look at it and go, maybe not. There's hand sanitizer. We'll just use that this
I
time
know,
around.
right? Yeah, exactly.
Don't have any brown shit on the hands, so it's okay. We'll just try it a different. We'll just use a little hand sanitizer. I ain't fucking
All
with
right.
that Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, well,
You know.
they do make the easy ones with like 4 colors per side.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
No, so
just something simple.
it's just like,
Or like a Simon says,
oh yeah,
like
that's what I want to do. I just got okay. Okay, if you're going to go that route,
make
I
it
got-
voice controlled
Nope,
so you
I
don't
got
have
the-
to touch it.
I got the better way of doing it. I got the simple better way to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, in other words, instead of taking the Simon Says and having it at the end where the wash is, you have them like hanging from the toilet, like from the ceiling from the toilet. So now you have something to do while you're shitting,
Yeah.
and you can unlock the code to flush the toilet or something.
That's
Well,
interesting.
That wouldn't work for you because at that point, then you would be considering
That whole
that whole
the marinade rule would
yeah,
be
the
out
don't
the
let
window.
it marinate, get it out
Yeah.
the door.
That would work.
Would
That
go
would-
all the way out the door.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that probably wouldn't work. But
Hey.
yeah,
There we go.
yeah, it is what it is. But on that same note, like technical, like I call it redneckisms, where they figure
Yeah.
out shit.
Sure.
I was on YouTube, and yes, I spend a lot of time on YouTube
Well,
and on the internet, just
it
messing
happens.
around
Yes.
in between my day and everything else.
Right.
And I seen something, and I want one. Okay.
Oh.
All right. And some people don't like guns. If you don't like guns, that's fine.
Yep.
You don't have
You're
to have
entitled to your opinion.
one. You know, I will be there to protect you. I will say that much. You know,
Yep,
as long as you don't
exactly.
mind me having them, I don't care if you don't have them.
Right. Absolutely.
So, but this one was interesting because these rednecks had figured out a way
Uh-oh.
to put these coils in a row, these little electrical coils, and they take those little batteries.
Like watch batteries,
The
hearing
little
aid
watch
batteries?
batteries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a watch battery thing. It looks like a slug, and you can buy them as just a piece of metal as well. And they have these little slugs, and you can put it, and you put it. It holds like 20 of them.
Okay.
And you hit the button. There's no charge. There's no anything.
Right.
It's like as loud as an air gun.
Okay.
Okay, but it shoots this little thing out harder and faster than any bullet you can buy.
It shoots the battery at
The
target.
It's at the battery at the target. And
Okay.
now, okay, to for the people that don't have ammo or guns or whatever, like the end of a bullet is going to be like
it's
like
fractional,
like that much of the
Yeah,
pin.
'cause
okay, where my fingers are.
Yep.
If you get a big bullet, you go that much. Okay.
Right.
Now you think of a car these little watch batteries. You've seen them. They're the ones that are in your remote
Little
controls
tiny
for your phone.
things, for your key fob.
For your key fob, and those little they're like a coin that big, and they're that flat, but
Yep.
they can do some serious damage.
No
Because
kidding.
not only are they big, so they can put something in there, but it puts the lead in there, I call it. But at the same time, it can flop, it can roll, it can do all sorts of shit, and it goes so fast and so far, it's ridiculous. And it's all based off electric. So not only are we going to lose all of our gas power and everything because of electric cars, now we're probably going to lose all of our guns because of these electric things.
Well,
But yeah, so anybody that's out there, if you want to know what I'm talking about, when you get a chance, look up electric coil gun.
oh boy.
Yeah, it's fun. It's interesting.
That sounds interesting.
These crazy rednecks have figured this shit out, and they're building them themselves, which is what's really, really, really ridiculous.
Yes, see?
Ridiculously crazy.
Exactly.
But so anyway, so now staying on the redneck theme,
Yeah.
and being on the internet,
Yeah.
this guy at a Texas barbecue restaurant
Of course, it's in Texas.
Yeah.
Yep.
stole $3,000 worth of brisket.
I hope he enjoyed it and ate it.
Okay.
What was that? A few hundred pounds?
Okay. A brisket this big, that long, about yay big. If it's the most premium meat you can buy, you're going a couple $100.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple $100.
Right.
Okay.
We're talking retail.
Okay. Yeah, retail.
Okay.
Now, so this guy stole the whole trunk load of brisket.
Oh, like the before it's cooked brisket.
No, like
It was cooked already?
like a lot of these places, like these Texas places, these smokers will go out and they just go around and around and around.
Yeah.
And you really can't lock them up for like fires and all that kind of shit.
Right.
You only can go in and you just put it in there because of fire codes and shit like that. You have to keep them open because if the flame's up,
Yeah.
Who's got the key?
Right.
The guy at home while his house while the building burns down. That's not going to work with the firemen.
Right.
So they can't lock them up. So basically, they try to lock up the fence gate area, and then these guys jump over the fence, went into the smoker, and just went to town.
And took all the meat.
It took all the meat.
They had some good eating there
Yeah.
for a couple
I mean,
days. I'm thinking the whole
guy-
family.
They said that this guy got like 20 of these briskets.
There you go.
20 briskets, and then I guess the rest of the money is you have to consider the seasoning, the time, and
Right.
the
Yeah.
cooking, and the guy that did the most of the work.
His raw materials
Yeah.
to get to
Exactly.
the finished product.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Exactly. So that was I was like, man, $3,000 worth of brisket. I'm like,
Yeah.
now, anybody that knows me,
Where was my invitation?
I was gonna say, anybody that knows me knows about me and my and I love my brisket. I love barbecue. And it's just like, damn, I'm thinking, where's this guy at? He got some sauce.
Although we really
I'll
shouldn't.
bring the sauce.
We really shouldn't partake in
No,
stolen
no,
items.
you shouldn't
That would be
partake.
bad.
That's a bad thing. Nobody do that unless it's brisket. Then you have to eat it.
If-
You know. Here's the way. If you have a buddy that steals brisket, you don't want to waste it. So you're
You
just
don't-
eating it so you don't waste it.
You don't want
Then
to.
you go. Then you get
don't
him in
want
trouble.
him to share with you where it came from.
Yeah, there you go.
You just
tell
want
me-
the phone call. Hey, would you like some brisket?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a yes or no question,
Yeah, it's yes or no.
right?
Yeah.
And we already know what our answer is. So
Exactly.
just count us in.
Exactly. So
yeah, not condoning anybody going and stealing anybody's brisket. Like, we'll pay for it. It's cool.
I would rather pay for my brisket than
Yeah.
to take somebody's stolen brisket.
Yeah, because I'm a big believer in like karma and God, and I just think that
Well, if
you steal one brisket, it's gonna come back around and bite you
I
at
mean,
least 7 times.
I can see all these people getting food poisoning from the brisket because it didn't get all the way cooked or something.
Right? Yeah, or the guy mishandled it or dropped it, or
Well, if you think that bad mojo is going to come to you on that kind of deal, imagine that guy. There's a Florida man that stole $2.6 million in COVID relief money.
See, I think that's where all these car washes in Bradenton are getting. I'm telling you, that's where those funds are.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Well, the guy's name is Daniel Joseph Tizone.
Yeah.
And this guy, I mean, he fled out of the state on top of it.
This was the one that did he buy like 2 houses and a boat and like an engagement ring
and property, other property and shit like that.
Right.
And this guy just went ape shit on a shopping spree.
He won the COVID lottery.
Which
literally.
Yeah. Well, the key
is
that and this has happened quite a few times during the COVID time.
Yes.
Because there's always I don't know how many stories I've seen during COVID where where they had issues where like guys would get money for their business and then go out and buy like a helicopter or some kind of
a boat
or Lamborghini something,
right.
you know. Guy bought 2 Lamborghinis.
Right.
And it's like, what the hell? You know?
Exactly.
It's like, at least share. but there's loopholes on all this stuff. But you know,
right.
There's a lot of businesses that probably could have used that money. But this just explains a lot with the government, though, because you know I don't want to go in a big government deal, but the thing is that you know some of our inflation is because of all the money that was thrown out there.
True.
And you know, just some of the things I think I just think that if they didn't go so far out of whack to help people,
right,
instead of figuring out other ways to help them,
people would have, exactly.
Or maybe I'm just crass about it because every time that something like that comes up, it's very few times that I get to partake in the situation.
Yeah, well, it's just like those PPP loans it stands for payroll protection. So it was basically supposed to help business owners to fund their payrolls, you know, in the midst of having employees out with this questionable virus that nobody knew anything about. Now we know a hell of a lot more about it, but in 19 and 20 we didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
So they were, and a lot of people took advantage.
Oh yeah.
So what's going to end up happening is you're going to get, because like this guy was a repeat offender, so now you're going to have where the next time any kind of felon, and you could have been a felon because you were doing 200 down the interstate with your night vision goggles on and got caught, and now you're a felon because of it, and you're going to apply for something and they're going to be like, nope, because you're a felon.
Yeah, but they didn't.
But you may have paid every bill for your whole life. So
I think this guy was even. I think he was even a felon at one point.
He was, yeah.
So
like in New York, Virginia.
Yeah,
like multiple places.
When you have multiple state felonies, you got a problem.
Yeah.
But like in these businesses, I mean even now, like all this money really screwed the pooch on a lot of people because
did.
I mean, if you even look at even like places like Snapchat,
yep.
You know, Snapchat is in trouble right now. Today they notified that they're laying off like 1,200 employees.
That's a ton of people.
That's 20% of their workforce across the board.
That's a ton of people.
I mean, but in reality, you know, Snapchat, you know, TikTok, all these. You notice there's always a fad, you know.
Right.
When we started, it was MySpace.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and so you know, it's just whatever the difference is.
Yep.
But you know, it is what it is.
Right.
But let's back to something more funny. Harry Styles. I don't know if you know who he is.
I've heard of some of his songs.
He's a singer. Yeah. So Harry Styles had a concert recently, and I guess people don't like him very well anymore.
Oh, what happened to him?
They threw chicken nuggets at him.
Whoops.
Cold chicken nuggets. You couldn't even eat the chicken nugget that got hit. Got hit with.
Like the frozen ones?
I don't know. It just said that Harry Styles is at his concert and gets hit with a chicken nugget. Now, guys,
A chicken nugget?
That
could have just been some lucky person with a great throw.
Well, the way I look at it is that's they call alcohol abuse in fat guy terms. That's food abuse.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
You gotta have, it's like chicken nuggets, man. You gotta.
Well, they weren't gonna throw the cup of beer.
No, they wouldn't throw the cup of beer, but
right. So.
But it's just funny because the picture shows him like this with holding this we're not talking like a nugget from like Zaxby's. We're talking a real chicken nugget chicken nugget.
Oh.
He's like holding this chicken nugget that he just got smacked with.
Whoops.
Which brings me to a great story.
Uh-oh.
Yes. And that story, I've been wanting to tell this story forever. It's one of my favorite old school stories. And what really sucks is there was two people on chat that I know that were there that I wish they would have still been here because they like the story too. So anyway, back to the story.
Uh-oh.
All right, so you know this story.
I know I've partaken in throwing things at people.
Well, this story you'll like. That you weren't there,
okay,
but you'll like the story.
Okay.
So, when I was in high school, as you know, but I'm telling this for the people out in internet
the
land.
ether. Yeah.
They so when I was in high school, I graduated early. And they didn't know what to do with me, and I wanted to graduate with my class, and they just didn't want me sitting in a room all day.
Sure.
So.
Or at home.
Yeah, and at the time they didn't have go and get college credits to do this or that or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So they were trying a new option out, which was VOTEC.
Yep.
The vocational school. It's like, hey, you'll not only graduate, but you're going to graduate with some type of whatever.
Yeah.
Like some type of technical ability.
Yeah.
Which in some realities is actually it's a good thing. I could say that part of my life was contributed to if I wouldn't have got that knowledge, who knows what would have happened.
Right.
So long and short, I went to VOTEC for 2 years.
Yep.
And and I gotta say it because I gotta say it. I'm glad I went to VOTEC because the first year I met my lovely wife, Miss Kimmy, and our electronics computer class.
Yeah.
Okay, and we've talked about stories on that, but literally 30 years ago.
Yep.
This year.
Yep.
And we met like right around this time.
Yep. So
then after that, the second year came around, and I went to the second year version of the deal. So the VOTEC sent me to a second year class, and I met some new friends. Kimmy wasn't around for a little bit,
right? So
I went out and hung out with the boys per se.
Sure.
And we did our stupid guy shit things.
Sure.
And what I found out was when you go second year, it was really an adult class, more of an adult class than the first year.
All right.
So the people that were adults were in there, and adults like to party in all different weird ways. Okay? And so we got to learn all sorts of new cool shit. Well, one of the things that we did get that in second year was I met this guy named Bob.
Yep.
Bob Huizinga.
Yep.
Good friend of mine.
Yep.
And I forgot who was in the car with us other than Bob. I think it was Josh, my buddy Josh Bowles.
Sure.
And people that are on YouTube or my older friends know who Josh and know who Bob is.
Yep.
And so Bob, it was me. Bob had this big ass Buick, a huge freaking car, 4-door car, big old red 4-door car.
I remember that car.
And so then I had my buddy Arthur, and Arthur. I wish I could describe Arthur. I wish I could. Arthur wasn't even his first name; it was his last name. But it was just we never called him anything other than Arthur.
Yep.
And I don't think I've called him by his first name at least 3 times in his whole entire life.
Yep.
And he was like my buddy, like my sidekick everywhere. Like he was the guy that protected me from people when Kimmy wasn't around. He was the guy that did
Yep.
He was my right hand man. We always got in trouble doing something, and he was and we were perfect friends because, as you can tell, I like to talk.
You like to talk, and he was quiet.
And he was quiet as a church mouse, but he would sit there and laugh and giggle and just, it was like he was just feeding a fire because he just spoke enough that he would just rile me up just a little bit more.
Exactly.
It's like Joe Rogan and Alex Jones, it's like, as soon as Joe says, I got to go to the bathroom, man. And it's like, and Joe would say something, he's like, "Thought you're going to the bathroom." "Oh, I can't go now. I'm all riled up,
Right, yeah, exactly.
I'll go to the bathroom later,
Right, right.
So anyway, so we get in the car. It's lunchtime.
Sure.
And we had a long extended lunch that day because of the fact that they were having a movie that we had already watched in the first year, Arthur and I.
Yeah.
And Bob didn't really care to go.
Right, yeah.
So we're like, let's go out to the house.
Yeah.
Now, at the time, I lived on the island, and we decided we were just going to go out, hang out.
And Votech was on 34th Street West.
Yeah, which was a road that was right around the corner from 75th in Bradenton. I'm not trying to go local, but basically a zigzag, and you were like, in 10 minutes, you're out at the island.
Mm-hmm.
If you're driving fast.
Yeah. In those days, traffic, not these days traffic at all.
This day traffic would be like an hour.
Exactly.
But at the time, so we went to the house, and we got some. But before we were halfway there. There was a 7-Eleven that's between Votech and my house, out to the island. So at the time, 7-Eleven had these foot-long hot dogs. I mean, and they were foot-long. And their claim to fame was that they had all the free fixings you ever wanted.
Yep.
And you just bought them, and so you paid and back then it was like, it'd been $5 now, but it's like $2.
Yeah, exactly.
For this foot-long hot dog.
Right.
And so we all
it was a decent hot dog, too.
Yeah, and it was actually pretty good. We ate the chili and cheese more than we ate the hot dog, but it was besides the point. So we all get this foot-long hot dog. Now, Arthur and I are in the back seat. Josh and Bob are in the front seat. And we're just, and we had the windows down. We're eating these fucking hot dogs like they're going out of style.
Yeah.
And Arthur eats everything except for the damn hot dog. And he's like, "You want my wiener?" He's like, "Fuck it." Yeah. And
right,
again, he didn't talk much, but
when he did, it was
like
funny.
it was like he was condensed.
Yeah.
Like whatever he said would be fucking hilarious as hell. So he looks over at me and he's like, "You want my wiener?" He's holding his wiener, this big old hot dog. Like, "No, I don't want your wiener." And I grab it. Yeah. And as I grab it, he goes, "Well, I don't want it now. You got your hands all over it. You got your hands on my wiener." It's like,
sure.
And so I'm the dumbass that's holding this hot dog, like a big old ding-a-lang. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, and we're going over the bridge. I'm like, "Fuck this! I'm throwing it away," and I chuck it out the window. So as I do this, I look and I see this hot dog, and I'm not joking. It's like this, just going boom, boom, boom through the air, and it looked like it was in slow motion because it's going as fast as the car. The car's going like 45, 50 miles an hour, and we're at the top of the bridge. It's boom, 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 and sure as hell, I friggin' hit a guy. A guy goes to whip back. And he throws out his line on his fishing pole because these people are fishing on the bridge, and all of a sudden, just this waiter, boom, boom, whack, hits him right in the ribs. This big old this old foot long hot dog. You can hear this hot dog hit the side of him so hard. It's just like I'm like, ooh, that had a sting. And I'm like, sorry. I wasn't trying to hit him. I was throwing it out to go out there, you know.
You thought you were feeding the seagulls.
Exactly. So, so I chucked this hot dog. So we're like, oh shit, and all of us started laughing. We thought it was funnier than hell. So we go up to the house, and
except for fishermen are crazy.
yeah, except for the fucking fisherman's like, I got hit with a fucking wiener, a foot long wiener. Look, it's right there. And, you know, maybe I could use it for bait. I don't know.
He might have.
So. But that's not where the story ends. So we get out to the house, and we hang out there for like 20, 30 minutes, and we're like, well, I guess
better get to school.
Go back to school.
Sure.
So we all climb back in the car, and I'm in the front seat now. Arthur and Josh are in the back seat.
Sure.
And so we start to head out towards off the island, and there's this bridge. Now the bridge, what I didn't tell you about the bridge is it's a drawbridge.
Yep.
So every so often, if a big boat or whatever comes in, it has to open up.
Yep.
So we turn the corner, and as we're turning the corner, there's like a couple cars in front of us, nothing major. And then I see the lights, and I see the bridge go up. Now, that wouldn't normally be an issue, but as we're sitting there and we're slowly rolling towards the stop, we realize that we are going to be rolling right in front of
Wiener Fisherman
with Wiener Boy on I wish I was.
It was a very memorable car.
I wish the car. There's like one of these cars in all of fucking Bradenton.
Exactly.
Especially on the island, going to the island. It's like the biggest hood ride car you ever seen.
Right.
Piece of shit, rattling, making noise. So you hear this rattle trap coming up the bridge. And as we're going up there, I look over, and the guy turns around and looks over, and and all you see is this big like red mark on the side of his body.
The side of his white shirt.
Oh no! That was the worst part. He didn't have a shirt on, so when he got hit with a foot long chili dog or a wiener, foot long wiener coated in chili sauce.
Great.
Across the whole side of him. So he had this big red mark.
He just left it there.
So he just had this big red mark. Well, he wiped it off, but you can just see the red mark where this wiener
where he got hit with something.
This got smacked, right? So back then, people didn't. Yeah, it was a different time. And back in the different time, there wasn't a lot of
different time for sure.
Yeah. So back then, gay people weren't like super prominent. So this is where it gets worse.
Oh, no.
So the guy sees the car, and he doesn't see what's in the car.
Right.
He just sees the car. So now we go up. So all of us, except for Bob, driving because he can't move anywhere, and the whole time he's driving, he's going, you motherfuckers, you got, if I get my ass kicked today, it's all on you guys, man, you motherfuckers. And he's just mumbling to himself. I'm like, it's okay, Bob, it's okay. And it's like, just drive. Drive. I'll just stop. Don't stop early, because then you'll know it's you.
Right.
Exactly. You got to go all the way up. Just act like you don't know anything. So at the same time he's doing this, all of us duck in the car.
Oh,
okay, so it's just Bob.
It's just him.
It's just Bob in the car. So Bob's all by himself. So this guy's giving him the stink eye. But this is where things changed real quick. And the guy added up 1 and 1 and got 3.
Uh-oh.
Because the guys in the back, Josh and Arthur, are down in the back of the seat. You can't see them. All you see is me pop up from from the middle of the front seat.
Oh no! So he thinks you're doing naughty things to
so
the driver.
So he's thinking, A, I'm doing naughty things to the driver, and B, what the hell did I get hit with? And what was it doing? And was that chili? So he just turned his ass around, and he refused to look at the car anymore because he didn't want to see.
He did not want to partake in whatever was going on in the car.
Whatever was going on, he didn't want to have nothing to do with that. So I was like, hey. The bridge finally went down. We took off, and I'm just thinking, oh, and all the way back, I'm sitting there going, why did he just turn around like that?
Right.
And Bob's like, you're an idiot. I'm like, what? He goes, you're an idiot. He goes, why? He goes, he thinks we were two gay dudes, and you just came out of my lap.
Oh,
and then
shit.
on top of that, you hit him with a hot dog, and he doesn't know where it came from. So he just decided it might just be better if I don't go over there and touch these two at this moment in time. Or walk up and see what they're going to find.
Right?
It might be a little bit more than a wiener there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so that was the
Yeah.
so,
The infamous 7-Eleven footlong hot dog story.
The wiener dog story. So we went back to work, and that was it.
Now we know why Kendall never misses. She's got it from both sides.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So just if I had film, that would have went viral because because on the way out, chucking this thing out the door. I mean, I just did this little flick thing,
right?
And it was helicoptering at 50 miles an hour into the side of this guy's side, and bareback man that's already probably got a little bit of a sunburn now just got this.
Now he's coated in chili,
and you just see this hot dog hit him, and it was like slow mo. It just hit him, and it's like boom, and he came out, and the guy's like, ooh, and he doesn't. He's looking around because he's like, what the hell is that? And he's like, and it took him like a couple seconds to turn around and look around. Oh, that's where it came from. The red 4-door car with the gay guy in it. Which he didn't know at the time, but he sure thinks so now.
Yeah. And on a weekday, the only people coming and going off the island were the people who live there. So there wasn't a lot of traffic.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, thinking of weird shit. We now, have you seen these things where we talked about this because we wanted to make like a van or something where we could like take like the show on the road per se.
Yeah, I'm in love with the Mercedes Sprinter van. Like I would love to have one of those.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of Netflix, there's a show called Dogs, and one of the episodes there's an astronaut that has the van that we need. Because he brings his two dogs with him.
I can have ice cream.
That silly commercial. Spaceman says I can have ice cream.
Spaceman says I can have ice cream. Oh.
Hey, you forgot your toothbrush, and that's a spaceman.
And that's the spaceman.
Yeah, so anyway, so the Sprinter van is by far my favorite, but as we've made it pretty aware, our budget isn't Sprinter van quality.
Our budget doesn't fit in my hand right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hey, look, the bills are being paid.
That's all.
We're eating.
Maybe if something takes off with this, you get some donations.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. And then Sammy can fix the van that I haven't gotten to break yet because we don't own one.
And we'll be coming to you here soon.
Exactly.
With your donation money, we can drive to your house and do this stupid shit.
Yeah, exactly.
In your front
in
yard.
your driveway.
In your driveway. Come on in.
Or backyard or hunting party, whatever.
Hunting party, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll do it remote. Why not? We'll do it live. So
yeah.
So
yeah. So I'm digging on the U-Haul truck now because you can pick those up pretty cheap.
Well, that's where I was going with this. Is that like U-Hauls? I'm watching these U-Haul guys, and they're building these insides out, and it looks like mini houses.
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought this was all a great idea until today.
Uh-oh.
Well, there was a guy. I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this. I'm looking for, like, plans or whatever, just to see what it's going to take, and to build something like this, so we could, think about the future or whatever.
Yeah.
You always have to have dreams. And
Yes.
so as I'm doing this, I find a news article. Man ordered to leave shipping container he's been living in for 30 years.
Oh my God. Where was
on
this?
3 acres of land. I guess overseas over in the UK.
Oh, that isn't right.
This gentleman had taken, like, we did a thing on like the Crate food area.
Yeah.
That's over in like the Zephyr Hills area, Wesley Chapel, they call it,
right.
the rich part of Zephyr Hills. And they take these big crates and they can convert them into restaurants with food and seating and the whole 9 yards, or shops or whatever.
Yep.
And so this is what this guy's done. He's taken one of these big, like, shipping containers.
Yep.
And he turned it into a house like 30 years ago, before anybody thought about this shit.
Yep.
And he's like, well, instead of building a house, he already had the 4 walls. He could just build it as he went. And I seen pictures of it. It actually looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
So the long and short of it is that, so they I guess they decided that this was not legal anymore after 30 years.
Oh my God.
And they're ordering him to leave a shipping container.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah. So I was sitting there going, holy shit. But I mean, I know it's a different thing, but it was just kind of a weird situation that I seen on the on YouTube, or not YouTube, but on the internet. It's like, why would you take? I mean, what is that guy doing? And I looked at these pictures, and if you didn't know you were in a shipping container, other than it being a little small, you wouldn't have known any different.
Exactly.
So yeah, I just thought it was an interesting deal. It's like, well, he's by himself and stuff. So I mean, it's not like he has kids.
Yeah.
Or anything like that, where he's like taking care of people out there in the middle of nowhere land.
Exactly.
But so other than that, speaking of kids, I had a note on here. I have to say something, and I want your input on this.
Uh-oh.
Because I got to know. Like, Andrew Dice Clay has a rhyme about what's the woman in the shoe.
Oh yeah.
The woman in the shoe had so many kids her uterus fell out.
Well, that's not how it goes.
Yeah, but
there was an old lady who lived in a shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had so many kids her
she
uterus
didn't know what
fell
to
out.
do.
No, but
yeah, his bit is
her uterus fell out. So,
right.
But anyway, and the reason why I mentioned this is that Nick Cannon is on kid 10.
That's insane.
10, not 1 or 2.
I'm thinking there's
10.
I'm thinking the siblings are probably half siblings.
Well, I mean, they have to be all him.
Well, right, but I'm saying different female
moms.
Contributors. Yeah.
So he's just plugging like because
hasn't he been married a couple times? I'm pretty
don't know.
sure.
I don't know anything about him other than he does something on the.
I mean, like, I don't follow him or anything like
what
that.
Is that the Hidden Singer or whatever it's called?
The Masked Singer.
Masked Singer. Yeah, the Masked Singer. So that's the only thing I know about him.
Yeah, don't talk to me about the Masked Singer because I haven't caught up yet, and I'm way back. So.
Way back.
Way back. I got way back. I mean, they're talking about a new season. I haven't even watched the
old season.
Half of the old season.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I'm way back.
Speaking of shows, I seen something today that I wanted to put it to show the video, the trailer, on our show. This bad.
Uh-oh.
Because nobody, and I repeat, nobody's going to believe me.
Uh-oh.
I mean, this is a WTF moment if there isn't a WTF moment.
Oh.
There was a trailer for a new movie, Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, good grief.
Oh, it gets better. The title of the show, the movie, is Blood and Honey.
Great. Oh, this is the dark one.
It's a horror movie with Winnie the Pooh as basically Jason going around. It's like they basically took a Jason movie, and I'm looking at this preview, and I'm like, I didn't believe it was real. I had to go look up on like
it's real.
on the movie
Unfortunately
thing and like cast and credits because I didn't believe it was real at all.
Yeah.
And I was like shocked how bad how much it was, because I'm sitting here going, I'm like, it literally looked like they just took a Jason movie, like a Friday the 13th,
right,
and just took the head off of Jason and just planted a Winnie the Pooh mask on him instead.
That's terrible.
And it's supposed to be like a real life thing, like it's not a mask. It's like it's Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not into horror flicks. Like, I'll do some of that, like,
I don't like horror
whatever
flicks
excitement shit, I guess you call it. I don't know.
I don't like horror flicks at all.
Hey, speaking of horror flicks,
Yeah.
do you hear about this Wasilla resident concerned about neighbors threatening yard signs?
Woo! Woo!
This came up in my feed, and I'm like, where the hell is Wasilla? Wasilla is in Alaska.
Alaska.
Yeah, and when you look into the story, people can Google it or whatever. Basically, this lady bought a house, and I always thought they surveyed before you bought the house. At least that's what they do here. But
Right.
clearly, all states are different, so
Right.
whatever. So she bought the house, and then they surveyed and realized, oh, see this fence in this area? This is actually yours, not the people that think it's theirs. So she was, I don't know, I guess trying to tell them, like, hey, I'm going to take this fence down or whatever. I don't know what went down.
So they surveyed the land, is what they said.
Yes, they surveyed her land, yeah. So the people that have lived in the area longer, let's put it that way, because they're unnamed neighbors at this point, are hanging up like decapitated baby doll heads and putting all kinds of like, hey, I'm a gun owner and we have a backhoe so we can hide the bodies, and like
Yeah, I thought I seen some.
the
pictures
lady
of
literally said, you look up the signs on Amazon, and it showed, like, when you go through the video, like every post, what's a post, like every 6 feet?
Yeah.
So, like, every post has, like, 3 signs on it at least.
Oh,
and then hanging in the trees are these decapitated baby doll heads with, like, their heads blown off because they've shot at them or whatever. And just, like, wicked shit. And she's to the point now, she's like, my grandkids are afraid to play in the backyard because of all these signs and blah, blah, blah. She's like, look, I just want to settle this amicably, which I'm sure just means I want all of my yard and... You know, we're going to remove the fence or what have you.
I have an answer to it. Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Sleepy Joe.
Right. Oh, yeah, and they went political on her, too. They're calling her Karen. They're like, Karen lives here, and yeah.
Because you heard what Joe Biden did, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah, Joe Biden, everybody mocked Trump for this big-ass wall that he was building.
Yeah.
And they stopped building it when Biden came in.
Right.
And... So then they were letting people in, and old Joe in the background, without anybody knowing, it only came up like 2 or 3 times. You have to look it up.
Right.
You have to really look to find them, and it's not like a Fox News. This isn't. We're not going Fox News on you, okay?
Yeah.
This isn't right or left or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
you're entitled to your opinion, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't want to bring politics into this.
Right. Politics, but yes.
Politics. It's my word. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to bring that in, but what I'm trying, and it has nothing to do with politics at all. It has to do with if you thought you were wrong, just admit you're wrong and go on your way. Everybody's wrong, including the fucking president. And that's what every president, even Trump, just couldn't do, is he couldn't just say I'm wrong.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and
maybe I was mistaken to have
maybe
done
I was
that.
mistaken. Maybe I should have done it this way. Maybe I should have did this.
Or the phrase we hate, oops, my bad.
Yeah. So he started without telling anybody, well, people in the government.
Of course, yeah.
But without telling the news and trying to keep it a quiet thing.
Yeah.
He's building the wall back again. But it doesn't end there. He has spent $500,000. I want to know what kind of fence, how big of a fence, What are you doing? Making a moat like a friggin' what do you call it? Like a
Well, he probably has a significant piece of property. So a
but
$500,000 fence. I mean,
$500,000
that's
for a fence.
it's probably pretty tall
mean-
and pretty secure.
I mean,
probably has cameras on it,
But
electric.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, how elaborate can
Yeah.
you get?
I'm
With
betting.
500 grand, that's a lot. A lot.
Hey, so we get the U-Haul broadcast truck, and then we drive up there and broadcast in front of his wall.
In front of the wall.
Yes.
Yeah, and then say, "Take down the wall! Take down the wall!"
Right? Yeah.
And
Right?
then we
Or
go-
just like
Then
a
we'll go to jail,
Yeah.
and then our
show will crash.
no,
That
or
would be
it'll
bad.
take off really fast and then crash like a rocket because that'll go viral. You know, bring it down the wall. But it was just, but as I was thinking about the other one, I was like, oh well, put a wall around it. You know,
Sure. Yeah.
you need a fence. Ask Joe Biden how to build a fence.
Right?
I bet you he can tell you exactly how that fence needs to be built.
Yeah.
And then fall asleep. But and again, not because he's left or right, because the guy's fucking old.
He's really old.
He's old.
Yes.
He falls asleep and he falls off his bike. He
Yeah.
falls everywhere,
He
from asleep,
Fell down the steps.
down the upstairs.
Up the
The
stairs.
only man
yeah.
I've ever seen
Going
fall
up the stairs.
up the stairs,
that's
not
a
down
good
the
point.
stairs. I have
got
not.
it,
I've
yeah.
only met one stripper
Right.
that did that,
Yeah.
and she was drunk.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So are you saying he might have been drinking, or he's just old?
He's just old.
Okay.
There's something with. You can tell when he's talking that there's something just not wrong right there. When he's
I think
when
it's
he's reading
funny.
when he's reading the teleprompter, and I think the most hilarious thing I see is like, repeat last sentence again, and starts repeating last sentence again.
Oh my God.
It's like, what
See, I
are you
didn't see
doing?
that when I only heard about it.
Well, it was like a paragraph or so. It says
Yeah.
repeat this line or repeat this paragraph or
Right.
this statement. And it's like you're supposed to read it, but not supposed to say that one, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
It's like when it says take a breath. It doesn't mean you should read that. It just
Yeah.
means you should
Take
go.
a breath, wait for the giggles to go down,
Yeah. Right.
and then laugh with them.
Right.
It's
yes.
like, okay, I'm taking a breath. I'm
Right.
waiting for the giggles to go down, guys,
Right.
so I can laugh with you.
Right.
It's like, what
Yes.
the hell?
Yeah.
But speaking of old Mr. Biden, that was where my next movie was coming, and I actually want to see this one.
Oh.
If it's not out right now, it's supposed to be coming out anytime. I think it's on Netflix.
Right.
It's called My Son Hunter, and basically what they did is that when they found that,
That laptop that they
laptop.
won't let anybody see.
yeah, I just think it's
How can
interesting.
they raid? Never mind. I'm not going to go there.
I know. That's why it's like
I
it's-
just have lots of questions.
Yeah. Well, it's like one of those things. Again, it's not political. How can you not do one thing and
And then do
the,
something else. Yeah.
and do the other?
So
And,
from now on, I'm going to submit redacted IRS tax returns.
yeah, just mark them all out.
Yes, exactly.
Say, I'm going to read.
And then I'm going to leave one thing. I'm going to put $1 million in the refund column.
Yeah.
And send that in and see.
my refund
and see
is
if it comes
my
through.
refund is $10,000, please.
Right. Yeah.
But everything else
no,
is
no, even better. $9,999.99.
That way you don't have to report it next year.
Bingo. Exactly.
There you go. See, now you got it right.
Aha!
Aha. But so this my son Hunter movie
Yeah.
is just like it takes the laptop, and they've gone through it basically, and all these little pieces that you've heard over the last year
They've
or so.
put it all together.
They put it all together and made a story out of it, and it's really, really, really interesting.
Oh.
And and again, I think we would probably be kicked off of YouTube, or marked, or shadow banned, or whatever the case may be,
Mm-hmm.
by playing it, or I'd play it because I thought it was pretty damn interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well.
again, I'm not political at all. I'm not trying to be. I just thought it was an interesting ordeal.
It sounds interesting.
You know, I mean, I'm not washed on either side. See, so if my brain isn't washed to the left or the right, because there's some people, no matter what you say, are going to say, "Oh, well, it's because of this," and they're always going to have an answer, but
You're right.
it's not the right answer. But it's not the reality,
Hey,
I guess, is a nice way.
What's
to put
that
it.
thing Mom says? Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's
everybody's
got
got
one.
one.
There you go.
So, So with that being said, we made it through our first
Wednesday show.
Woo woo! So I gotta ask everybody, and please, I beg every time, please go and subscribe. And if you subscribe, put a comment out there. We might mention your name just so we can prove to all my friends and all my family that they're not the only ones that subscribe to us.
Right.
So that would be awesome. And if we hit 50 subscribers.
Yeah, we'll eat those.
We've got... Oh, look, she said it on film. She said she's going to spin the wheel of heat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm actually kind of excited for that one, but I know Kimmy's not.
Kendall says I can buy bags of them.
Yeah?
And pre-try them ahead of time, and I told her no, that would ruin
It takes the fun out of it. It's got to be a surprise.
Yes. So I'm not doing that.
Just like our smelling salts.
Yeah, I'm not doing that either.
The smelling salts will keep your ass awake when you start to run out of juice.
Yeah.
Get loose.
No.
But
no thanks.
But anyway, so thank you guys again for being out here. Please, if you can, it doesn't cost anything. I promise I won't advertise to you. I won't.
You won't get tons of spam.
You won't get spammed. You won't get tell you to come buy my merch. I don't have any merch. I am trying to make some stickers, but we'll have to worry about that later.
Yeah.
And it's not anything that's going to be force fed into anybody.
Nope.
But
you don't want it, that's fine too.
Exactly.
Yep.
But if you could subscribe, it would really help us because it gets us in this algorithm and it gets
puts us more closer to the top there, where people that aren't
us.
You gets to see us. Yeah. So
maybe other people might like me. I don't know.
Right.
I gotta be somebody's cup of tea.
And we have
in the car dealership world. Every car, every car. There's an ass for every seat. There you go.
There you go.
I knew I was going to get it.
You'd get it eventually. That's all good. We also have to thank our unofficial sponsor.
Oh yes,
Brunner Air.
Mr. Brunner Air.
Yep.
I told him.
Keeping everybody's armpits dry.
Keeping everybody chilly willy.
Yeah.
In the billy.
Woo woo.
Woo woo. Brunner Air. Ask for Mike Brunner. I'll give you some photo. We'll put up a little logo or something next time when we come up. So other than that, guys, thank you again for listening. If you got to this part, you are a legend because I appreciate you 100%.
Yes, thank you.
And I think you're absolutely awesome.
Yes.
So again, thank you. And you guys have a good night, and we will see you Saturday
at 8
o'clock.
Yes.
Because we're not doing the 9s anymore.
Hell
we'll
no.
do 8. Because we end up talking through 9 anyway, as you can see.
Yes.
So have a good night, and we will see you next time.